All right, I almost forgot about doing this video here. I posted all these knives on my Instagram like a week or two ago, depending on when I put this out. Listed all the HRCs and all that stuff, but I know that last time I talked about the whole 3V thing, and I'll just say 3V thing. There were a lot of people that said they didn't know I had put that information out until they saw it on YouTube because they don't have Instagram. So I'm bringing this video over here to YouTube for you guys to see, and I'm going to show you guys all the paperwork and all that stuff. So I had all these knives tested, as well as a second bug out. And doggone, let me grab my phone real quick and see if I can find the guy's name. I was lucky enough that a guy wanted to send me one of his knives and have it tested out. So that gentleman was Dr. Vinkman. So Dr. Vinkman. So thank you to him. Thank you to JT. I don't have that bailout with me right now. I think I said bug out a second ago. I don't have that bailout with me right now, but I'm going to show you the paperwork for my other bailout that I got tested, and I'll show you his. So when I got my first bailout tested, my personal bailout tested, they hit it twice, and it was 55.8 and 56 on the coating. I believe it was something like 56.4-ish once he sanded the coating off and tested it on bare steel. Here is the scan. Now, he did say he had to do it, if you can see all these pages, he ran the scan several times because the coating threw some of the numbers off. So take these with a grain of salt. The coating couldn't really, the scanner, PMI scanner, couldn't really read through the coating. So there you go. And one thing I'll mention up here where it says no match and all that stuff, the PMI gun, if you don't know, only works with only will find a match for metals that are programmed into the system. And because the guy that does the testing their company doesn't work with a lot of the metals that we're testing, those metals are not programmed into the PMI gun. So you won't see a match a lot of times, but you can look at the numbers and you can compare them to the known charts. And of course, everything is not an absolute. There is some give and take here and there for reference, but that's enough blabbering about that stuff. You guys want to see numbers. So the bailout that the gentleman loaned me was 56, and this was taken on the actual blade through the coating. So again, you're probably looking at 56.4, 56.5. Here is the scan of his bailout. Again, you can see that there was no match, but you can see the information there. Now I will move on. Let's move through the knives. So first up is the Shaman, and I believe you can see right here where the Shaman was tested. Let's get you a better look at that. You can see right here on the tang of the knife where the Shaman was tested, and the Shaman actually tested out at 63.9, and this is M4 steel. I don't know if I said that, so let's get that in the picture. This is M4 steel, tested only one time. It was only run one time. It tested out at 63.9. Here is the scan for that steel. If you're into that kind of thing, I'll leave that up there for a second so you can pause it, and I'll do that for each steel. Here is the top portion again. Let's see what is next. So next up is the Paramilitary 2 in crew wear, and you can see again that was tested on the back side, right? Well, actually you probably can see it better out of focus, but right there, that shiny little dent, you can see it was tested right there, and it tested out at 62 HRC on the nose. So there is the number. Here is the top portion of the form. Here is the scan. Again, if you're into that kind of thing, you can pause it here. Let's see, next up is the Rex 45 Paramilitary 2. It was tested in approximately the same spot, and he ran this test twice, as you can see here, because he couldn't believe his eyes. not the exact words he used, but that's pretty much it. This tested out at a pretty incredible 66.6, and the second test 66.7 HRC. Here's the top portion of the form. Here is the bottom portion of the form. You can pause it there. Our Super Blue Cali and Super Blue Steel, Calypso Junior rather. Sorry, I was reading the paper. And you can see here, it was tested right there one time. This knife tested out at 60.8. So you can see right there, 60.8. Here is the top portion of the form. Here is the bottom portion of the form. So the last knife, that will bring us to the absolute last knife. So this Delica Wharncliffe in S30V. Let's see if we can get it there. S30V. It was also tested in approximately the same area right here. It was only tested once, and it read 59. So S30V, they ran 59. Here's the top portion of the scan. Here is the bottom portion of the scan. So you all can see that the numbers were all right at 60 or above. The Delica was actually the lowest one. Like I said, it tested at, I believe, just a flat 59. Yeah, flat 59. So I know there's going to be a lot of discussion about what's a good number, what's a bad number. Generally speaking, 60 HRC is really where you want to see your steels at, because that's going to bring out that's going to maximize the attributes you want in an EDC knife. That's going to maximize your edge retention, your edge stability. HRC even affects your corrosion resistance, things of that nature. Now, with that being said, HRC only tells part of the story. That tells you how hard the steel is. Now, there are all kinds of different protocols for treating steels, and those protocols result in differences in grain structure of the steel. And when you get into the grain structure of the steel, then you start talking about the actual functioning of the knife. So there are two different parts, and that's why some of us are doing the HRC, some of us are doing the cut testing, and the two things kind of meet in the middle and go hand in hand with exactly what you're kind of getting in a knife. So with that said, guys, I'm pretty pleased with the numbers that I saw here. I think that they were pretty decent. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, as always, you can post them down below. You can reach out to me at alchemy.1@yahoo.com. I appreciate you guys watching, and remember, a lazy man carries a dull knife.